It's a good morning from the Political Command Center. My name is Dalton Kawesa, and exciting that you're still watching us here at the Morning Breeze. Anytime, any day. Today, Thursday, being it is that we are looking at the economics and how they influence policy. Now, as the election comes in, every election cycle, uncertainty hovers around entrepreneurs and the business community. A fear strikes among entrepreneurs and investors, a fear of uncertainty, a fear of uncertain policies, and a fear of the inevitable happening. Today, we ask ourselves, why should fear be part of the menu that is served to the business community whenever there is an election cycle? And at the command center, I have two distinguished gentlemen who are going to help us discuss this. I have Peter Babyenda, an economist and a lecturer at Makerere University. Welcome to the show. And of course, the usual suspect is Ronald Kwesiga, who is an entrepreneur and an advocate. Welcome to the show. Yes, because you're often giving insights into this. Let's start with Babyenda. From a business perspective, what are the specific fears these entrepreneurs have whenever there is an election cycle?
Yeah, of course, the politics is key for an economy, for the running of the economy, the stability of the currency, and also to guarantee the transactions and confidence building in the business. Then to their interests. So they have to be who is coming, who has our interests at hand, and what will the policies be. And as that one comes in, we see lobbying comes in, so that their interest. So if I know I need this, I better support candidate A, so that when candidate A comes in or is successful, I'll have my interests in the government supply, government tenders, and all that. Then another issue is the inflation. If whether the political cycle, the aftermath, whether there will be inflation, which will affect the cost of goods and the cost of doing business, but also the stability after the electoral, actually before, during, and after. We have seen some political scenes, some campaigns which become, there is violence, and violence may lead to destruction of property, looting of business, and all that. We have already seen in Kenya, you saw the Gen Zs, how people lost. So the issue of how the business will be after is key to the business, and this affects their contract, especially if you are dealing with offshore investors. You may not be able to attract investors from outside due to the fear. So the guarantee of stability, both political and economy, is key for the business people.
Okay, let me come to Peter. As someone has been following the performance of the business community in this country, do you think the government has enough protection for the risks that can come? Yes, Kwesiga.
Thank you very much, and thank you for hosting me this morning, and good morning to our viewers. I think, and it is so, the government has sufficient controls over the situation that surrounds the election period. First, like the economist has hinted, that we have inflationary pressures. We have been alive to the fact that at one time the inflation was hitting almost 10% or something. But we managed now it went even beyond 10%. But we managed to bring it back into manageable levels to where we are. Then also the fears on the investment side of it, which surround the situation of what happens during the election period and the aftermath and all that. We've been through this election cycle for a couple of years, and we managed to overcome it. We still have a lot of peace and tranquility. Business has sparred, and life has gone on normally. So there is no doubt government is in a very good position to manage each and every situation that's around the election period.
Before I come to Babienda, still, are there particular things investors must pay attention to when the election period suffices?
Of course, there are quite a number of things to look at. The investment climate during the election period is a bit volatile, but also we are alive to the fact that a number of businesses go into slow mode. Government expenditure, we are all alive to the fact that government is the biggest spender. So certain sectors of government reduce their expenditure, which has a direct impact on the investment decisions that one has to make. So true, the investors have to take and have keen attention to the entire cycle in general. Particularly, the areas that boom during the election cycle are those that are associated with the usual needs of the political participants. For example, the industry of printing and publishing is at its hype. The media industry is at a hype. We have the fuel sector also booming. The transport sector is booming. A number of those that are in that line are booming. But we are also alive to the fact that as they boom, it has a ripple effect. But although purchasing power reduces, we see a lot of real estate boom after the election period. But during this period, people are skeptical on how they utilize the money. The issue is hinged around the safety and what happens after.
Okay. Yes, Babienda, to come to you away from what you teach, are there real risks during these periods?
Yeah. The risks are real, and as he has said, you see, and as we are seeing, the political climate is fast becoming commercialized. So there are some sectors that are highly affected. Of course, both positive and negative. As he has said, the printing, the media, the entertainment sectors might boom during the period. But the other side, the sectors like real estate might be affected. But we can also see the change in property ownership. In most cases, money which would have gone to develop real estate is reallocated to politics, to finance politics. And also the loan. The cost of money might increase because these politicians now are rushing to pick money from the banks, from money lenders, knowing that once they go through, they will be able to pay back. So the risk becomes now losing assets afterwards. I mean, if you mortgaged your asset to go to politics, and then maybe you are unsuccessful, then you lose that property. And sometimes we have even seen some employers who go to politics and then they fail to pay their workers afterwards because they have spent all the money in politics and what they were expecting has not been successful, coming back, and we have seen some even businesses collapsing. So the risks are there, so and once there are risks, then there is need for mitigation to mitigate those risks, especially on financing. That's where the key issue is. Yeah.
So Babienda talked about people are getting money, the transfer of property, and in my view, I would think money then gets into people's hands. When money gets into people's hands, the purchasing power increases. Yes. And when purchasing power increases, it creates a good business environment. How come we do not, from you, Kwesiga, how come we do not harness these opportunities? Because if I have money in my pocket, Donald Trump, in the previous Chisanja term, put money in people's pockets, and every household benefited from children, $1,000 were given. So there was a boom. How come us? It's a different story.
Interesting. Thank you, Dalton. I think it's not any different. There is a boom.
Because what he says is really scary. I mean, great people agitating and looking forward to getting money, through these politicians. Of course, there are mistakes that are being made, but would expect the economy to grow because people at least have money in their hands and they can put them to use.
True, that is the expectation. But the situation that we have at the moment is highly a moral factor. We have a high level of moral decadence in our society. So the people who get the little money that trickles in arising from this election period is some sort of excitement. And it's